Strap in, I'm about to rant. First off, I'm not short, I'm fun sized. Second, the budget for movies and TV shows right now is absurd. It is out of control. We're entering the loony dimension right now with how much money is being pumped into like every show and movie that comes out, it seems. Just like owning an NFT, it's doomed for failure. It seems like every movie and TV show that comes out in recent years is like $100 million plus budget. It makes no sense. That is not sustainable at all. I think there needs to be some kind of huge investigation into where this money is going. There has got to be some shady foul play afoot here. Like something is fishy. There is a smell that smells smelly. Because a lot of these shows and movies look like dog shit. Like, take for example, The Acolyte. $180 million for those 8 episodes, and half the time it looks like you're watching a CW production. Or the Halo TV series that still has many people in tears up late at night wondering where it all went wrong. $90 to $200 million for that absolute stain? The Neil Blomkamp Halo 3 live-action commercials were better than that, and higher quality. Or Citadel, an Amazon series with a production budget of 300 million doubloons for 6 episodes. What the hell is even that? 300 mil for a series that goes straight to the VHS bin at Blockbuster? I looked it up. Apparently this wasn't received very well, and really wasn't received at all because not many people were talking about this. I watch pretty much every movie and show that comes out, and I'd never even heard of this one. And it was $300 million. Where does this money go? Like in the case of Halo or Acolyte, it's not going to writers. It's not going to people that actually make good shows. Does it just like vanish into the back rooms? It's definitely not going to the VFX teams, which are dreadfully overworked. Like, what happens to this massive amount of money? And there's still so many more examples I could choose from. The Borderlands movie, $110, $120 million for that stinking affront to God. That movie looks worse than most fan projects on YouTube right now. There are moments in that film that look like it was someone's first editing gig and they learned from watching daily motion tutorials on Adobe After Effects. Now, I know the main reason why a lot of these look so bad is because all of the VFX workers are dreadfully overworked. The industry is cruel to VFX workers, so they're not able to shine like they were for Pirates of the Caribbean, where they're able to actually hone their craft and deliver masterpieces. Instead, they're all worked harder than my butt after I eat a Crunchwrap Supreme, and they're not able to deliver the quality that they are capable of. And I know it's not their fault at all. It's these strict deadlines that for some reason they're just like, go, 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 this needs to come out ASAP. I don't care if it looks terrible. And I don't get it. This is like probably the most important department for most blockbusters because if the movie doesn't look good, most people are going to write it off immediately. Just start yawning, rolling their eyes, and just call the movie trash because it doesn't look how they would expect it to. And the audience isn't wrong for that criticism. It's the reptilians in the suits at the top of the food chain that are wrong. Like, I don't know where this money goes. Now, what made me really want to talk about this is I started watching a show called Those About to Die. Now, I haven't heard any buzz about this show. The only reason I know about it is because I am a huge Roland Emmerich fan, mainly because of Moonfall. He directed Moonfall, which I've said probably close to 1,000,000 times. I am always preaching the gospel about Moonfall being the best bad movie ever made. It is actually probably in my top 5 favorite movies of all time, even though it is an objectively horrible film, because it is a disaster masterpiece in every possible category, which ends up making it an extremely entertaining film and one of the best movie experiences you could ask for. I couldn't suck Moonfall's cock harder if I had 2 mouths. I can't help but just sing its praises. Point is, Roland Emmerich directed that movie, so he's got a fan for life in me. I am a huge Emmerich enthusiast. So he directed Those About to Die. It's about the Roman Empire and the games and a lot of hoopla going on. And I checked it out just because I had to see what my boy Emmerich is up to. I kind of went into this expecting it to be not great because that's what I've come to expect from him, but I expected to be entertained. Spoiler alert, the big surprise, the big twist about this one is I wasn't that entertained. It's not bad. Like, it's not a bad show at all, really. It's just really mediocre. There's nothing special about it. It just kind of ends up being white noise. I haven't finished watching it yet. I don't think I'm going to either. Like, it's just kind of a snoozer. Mainly because it's not bad enough to be like so bad it's good, and it's not good enough to like actually captivate me and have me invested in it. But by no means is it some awful show. But when I finished watching an episode tonight, I decided to look up what people were saying about it and if anyone was even talking about it, because I didn't hear a peep about this. I heard more about Concord than I did for Those About to Die. And one of the first things I saw when I looked it up is that this motherfucker has a budget of $150 million. Break that down for me. Give me the line items here. Show me the Carfax. 150 million clams for this blows my mind, because it is not a good-looking show. One of the main critiques that you'll find about this show from the people that have watched it is how bad it looks pretty often, like really rough CGI, obvious green screens, and that was one of the first things I picked up on as well, because even in episode 1, there are moments where the green screen actually feels like Indiana Jones level when he's running away from the boulder. I would have never guessed this was a big budget production. I would have giggled in your face if you told me that this had a budget of 50 million. 150 million. Well, I'm not laughing anymore. Now I'm just kind of mad because there is no reason why this show would cost that much. When I was watching it, I honestly thought it was some kind of like Roland Emmerich passion project that he may have even chipped in to self-fund with money that he pulled up from his mattress. You know, like, it is not a show that looks like $150 million. Not even close. Like, it's not like it bothered me that much. I was definitely willing to forgive lackluster visuals because there are moments in it that do look good for sure. And I had no idea that it was $150 million, so it's not like I went in there expecting to have, like, you know, breathtaking visuals or anything. And there are moments that do look good, but for the most part, it doesn't look like you would expect something to look for that amount of money. Where does it go? Where does the $150 million go for a show like Those About to Die? And how can it possibly be expected to be financially successful for Peacock? Again, I didn't hear anyone talking about this. I had to go digging to even find a discussion on it, and I only heard about it because I follow Roland Emmerich. But I can't even fathom how much money this would need to generate to turn even the slightest profit to make it worth it. This, again, feels like it's doomed for failure because of a bloated budget. This did not need to be that much money. It shouldn't have been that much money, not even close. I feel like if every Peacock subscriber watched Those About to Die twice, it still wouldn't be enough to justify that budget. Like, it still wouldn't be deemed a, like, financial successful investment. How is this... How does this model of investing hundreds of millions of dollars into like 8 to 10 episodes of a TV show possibly have any chance of working? And the shows that get produced with these massive budgets, they're not performing well even if they weren't that much money. Like, they're still flopping and they're not being received that well. The shows just aren't that great, so the money doesn't even seem to be going to like the writers. It's definitely not going to the visuals, so where does it go? Where? Another great example of this phenomenon is Amazon's Rings of Power. Basically $1 billion budget for that show. And the vast majority of that, the fucking huge chunk of that show, is just two characters blabbering at each other, talking in circles in a few different locations over the course of an hour per episode. Or aimlessly walking in the desert with the Harfoots. God bless. I don't even... Not gonna get into the weeds of Rings of Power again, but the point is, that show is mainly just characters talking at each other. Like, there's not a whole lot going on. Why is it costing $1 billion? It doesn't look significantly better than other shows with a fraction of those of that budget. I don't know where this money goes or why they're spending that much money on it. There must be some huge scam. Like, there must be someone that's just making a killing convincing these studios to spend that much money on shows like this. It's so silly, stupid, it makes no sense. It's not like you need to be spending hundreds of millions of dollars to create a great TV series. Like, let's take, for example, the best TV show ever made, Breaking Bad. I know that's a lukewarm take right there. There is a lot of people that also think Breaking Bad is one of, if not the best TV show ever produced. And that had a budget of about $3 million per episode. So, like, a single season of Breaking Bad would cost about $40 million to make. At $40 million, that's probably not even enough to make 3 episodes of Rings of Power, which is unhinged. Like, it's so unnecessary. These budgets, they just don't make sense. And movies, I'm talking about TV shows a lot right now, but it extends to movies as well, like I mentioned with Borderlands, for example. Budgets are just truly out of control, and I cannot figure out what that money gets spent on. But anyway, just wanted to rant about this a little bit. That's it. See ya.